Day number 4, vlog day number 4, 100-day challenge. So the thing I'm going to talk about today is, well, number one, don't mind my background. I'm not in my own place. I'm out visiting my grandparents in Monroeville near Pittsburgh, so not my room. Don't judge me based on my color scheme. Although it's not so bad, I actually like it. It's gives you some happy vibes. But speaking of unhappy vibes, went and saw my cousin play football today. Had a blast. So grateful and joyful that I had the opportunity to go watch Dylan play ball. I've actually never seen him play until now, and he's a redshirt freshman in college at East Stroudsburg University, so it was absolutely fantastic that I got to go see him play. And I say he's my little cousin, but he's like twice my size. He's freaking jacked. But they lost, and I felt bad because I know that the feeling of a loss in a football game is no fun. Been there before. And the other team that lost today was my alma mater, Wabash, in a tough-fought battle against DePaul for the Bell game. And I think they only lost by, I think the final score was 33-37. They lost in the last few minutes. Man, did they freaking battle it out. Although I was here in Monroeville, because of technology these days, I was able to watch a lot of the Bell game on my phone. And after that loss, I was honestly super pissed. I just felt terrible. I was like, oh my gosh, we're about to win 8 straight Bell games, but we lost. And we're so close to winning that I just had the sense of, we're almost there but didn't make it happen. And I just felt defeated for a minute, maybe even a few minutes. And I started thinking about it. I realized, like, what does this really mean for me? What does it mean to me? What's the scenario? We lost a football game. Wabash lost a football game, and now I'm going to be pissed, and now I'm going to be upset, and now I'm going to be in a bad state of mind mentally and emotionally, and sulk around while I'm having the opportunity to spend time with family and enjoy life. No, that's BS. Why would I allow myself to get down like that? And I thought about it, and it's about really switching the meaning of something, right? One of the people that I really look up to, and he has a lot of quotes, is John Wooden. And John Wooden was one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, specifically at the college level. And I've listened to several interviews with John Wooden, and typically he will say that you can outscore an opponent and still lose, and you can be outscored by your opponent and still win. And his point is that he never thought of wins and losses by the scoreboard. He thought of wins and losses by how much effort his team gave, how hard they played. Did they reach their full potential in that given opportunity of that game? And I thought about it, man, Wabash played their freaking tails off from what I saw, from what I could tell. And it was just a hard-fought battle. And they really scrapped. They really worked extremely hard. And I don't know each individual player. I don't know the team as a whole. But I got to tell you, my perception was they gave it everything that they had. And I think about that in my own life, and I'm like, and I tell myself that that's the same for real life. It's not just in athletics. Every single day, we have the opportunity to give every single thing that we have to be our greatest version of ourselves. And it's really not just a matter of, well, did I get the outcome that I envisioned? Did I get the results that I envisioned I would get? Because if that's all we define our success by is, did it turn out exactly as I thought it would turn out? In many cases, we're not going to be successful. We're not going to reach our vision or our ultimate outcome. I think a lot of times it's more important to revisit our mindset about what the success is and what that outcome means. It's not just about the win or the loss. It's more about, what did I learn along the way? What did I do with the opportunity that I had? And I think that's hugely important. I think that's an aspect that a lot of times I personally overlook. And just because something didn't turn out exactly as I thought it should have turned out, it wasn't a win in my eyes, I've got to understand that there's still something I can get out of it. And anyone that's paying attention, I got to believe you felt the same way, right? You envision something that's going to happen, you work hard for it, and it doesn't necessarily turn out exactly like you thought it would. But then you've got to really take a different perspective on it. You've got to get out of that negative state of, oh, I didn't win, or I didn't get the exact outcome that I wanted, and think for a second and realize there had to be something you took away from. There had to be a way that you grew mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually from that opportunity, from the process that you went through, from all that hard work that you put in to get the outcomes that you did get. Now, they might not look exactly like the outcomes you wanted, but there were outcomes nonetheless that you gained from in one way or another. I think sometimes we just have to go back and think about that. I know I specifically have to go back and look on opportunities that I saw as failures and realize that they weren't failures in the sense that I gained something from it, that I grew from it, that I improved from it, that I fed my mind, that I strengthened my body, did something to move myself forward and make progress. And I think if we can do that every single day, if we can make progress every single day, even if it's not your typical win and it doesn't look exactly like the vision that you had, I've got to know that every day I'm making progress, and it's not about perfection. Progress, not perfection. It's one of my favorite quotes, by the way. So I just want to reiterate that to myself and anyone who's paying attention that wants to hear that and be inspired by the idea that even if you don't win in the sense of getting the exact outcome that you expected, you can still win from this perspective that you gained something from the experience and from being on that journey and giving and pushing everything that you had in that direction. So hopefully that helps, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow. Peace.